Hey guys, this is a late night shave. I have my Semogue 1800 and I've just got two more brushes after this to use 18 times to complete that cycle. And then we'll start with use number 19, Gillette Platinum. It's going to be the blade for today, and we've used it about 20 times already. The razor we're going to put it in, same one as yesterday, my vintage UK Gillette Hybrid Tech. And the soap we're going to use is a new one. I'll venture to say not too many guys in the shaving kind of world have, online at least, have probably messed with Pandora's Soapworks. It's a North Carolina company that I don't think has really made the rounds too much in all the forums and things like that. I have no idea. I picked this up directly from the seller, and because I'm in North Carolina as well, and I happened to buy them, and I have no idea if it's going to be junk or good stuff. So let's just try it out together. Some of the ingredients pretty good. Pandora's Soapworks, and they're on Etsy. And what do we have? The printing, as you probably saw there, is not great. Castor oil, coconut oil, grapeseed and olive oil. Wow, so lots of oils. Goat's milk, buttermilk, cream, so lots of dairy, relatively speaking. Rainwater, aloe, cornstarch, some kind of clay, and vanilla bean powder. So how in the world, right? This may be just a total miss, but we'll see. All right. I talked to the lady. She seemed to know a good bit. This was her only shaving soap scent that it appears that she had. She mainly had other kinds of soaps and a bunch of different scents in bar soaps and decorator soaps and gift soaps and things like that. She may have had other types of products as well, like lotions, but I don't remember. It's been a little while. So let us put the blade in. This is the HD handle from Razor Rock. It's a stainless steel handle. I think it looks pretty good on the Hybrid Tech. It's kind of got a traditional look to it. So I think it fits pretty well. Let's fish out the Gillette Platinum blade. Haven't tried it in the Hybrid Tech yet. Right. The 1800 is a pretty good little brush. It's very light, a lot of flow through. It's not a lot of density there. So we'll see. It's been doing pretty well. I did bring in an O-ring to kind of rein in the bloom a little bit, keep those tips focused toward my face. I'm happy with that. Get some water on my face. Now I have no way of knowing how this is going to act. The soap came in a little wax wrapper, so I actually had to kind of cut out the label and put it on top of an existing empty soap tin, and so it doesn't fit exactly. If it starts moving around, I might try to jam some rubber bands or something in there to keep it steady and still so that we get a good load off of it. And let's just do a minute load because I don't know anything about the soap. So we will start at 40. I don't know if the usual 30-second load is plenty for this soap or too much or whatever. So we're just going to overload and let that be it. Cover my bases. So many oils and milks in here. It'll be interesting to see how it compares. I've been using sterling lately, sterling mutton as well as sterling beef, and I tried what else recently? Oh, a Black Ship Grooming yesterday, which was an awesome soap base. Almost done now and done. Okay. So now I'm going to, quite a bit overflowed there. Sometimes the overflow is not, hey, yeah, it's got some slickness to it. Sometimes the overflow is not dense enough. It's a little too airy and bubbly. And so you don't really want to try to save economy of lather and put that in your, bowl. So I'm not going to do that this time. Just kind of rinsing off the sides of the container, holding it upside down, keeping that puck in there. I'm pleased to see that the puck stopped moving around as I was loading. So then that made the loading a lot easier. All right. So it doesn't appear that tons of soap got onto this guy, but let's just see what happens. I like the scent on this when I was smelling it as a dry soap puck, and it's fairly hard. It was difficult to make a dent in it with my finger pad. My water here is hard and it is cold, but when I do my rinses, I in the winter here, I bring in a little bit of hot so that it's kind of a lukewarm rinse. I just added a half a teaspoon of water just to kind of help the lather here get going. We'll see how much lather is generated. I mean, obviously that's quite a long load time. Now this brush has not had any problems with any of the other soaps I've put in front of it so far. Right now it's very airy, but I can always go back to the puck if I need to. Since it's fairly hard, this might be a puck to maybe soak next time, But I was hoping a minute of loading would kind of compensate for that. Got a teaspoon in it now. It's very airy and bubbly. Let's go back to the puck. Add a little water to it. Kind of get a little sloppy. We'll see how that works. I like to support local artisans when I can. And it wasn't too expensive. I think it's $8. So that's not bad. but as you can see, it's not a creamy looking lather. Very airy, very light. I mean, I haven't seen one like that in a long time. Now, sometimes when you have a airy lather, you keep mixing and you kind of beat down some of the bubbles. In this case, I don't really feel like taking the time to do that. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's just see how it feels on my face right now the way it is. Kind of non-existent is the way it looks. Of course, she described it as the softest, shave you'll ever feel. And the closest shave, that's hilarious how people often describe, this will help you get the best shave you can get, There's just so many variables that come into play. So I got the soap puck wet and I'm really going at it with the brush here. Kind of turn it into a face lather instead of a bowl lather. See if that kind of changes anything. I may just switch to a different soap. Yeah, lather is just really, it's not creamy at all. You can probably see it. Now it could be that this puck needs to be soaked for a while. I don't know if you could even hear those bubbles right there. It does have some slickness to it, and so it's possible it may work despite looking the way it does. Kind of dissipating on the face a little bit. My guess is that maybe this is a soap that's designed to not be used with a brush. Maybe she hasn't really made it that way. And she kind of expects you to just kind of treat it like a bar soap. And so as you can see, it's just not a pretty sight in terms of a good soap lather. But let's just see what happens when I try to shave. I can feel the bubbles popping, and on my face because it's so dry. I don't think I'm going to help anything by adding water to that. So let's just see what happens. Well, not bad. Yeah, I can hear the popping. Kind of makes me think back to my days as a kid in the bubble bath. You could hear the bubbles around you. There is a little bit of slickness here. I think I'm going to have to abandon this soap for the shave. I mean, this is, I don't care how much goat's milk you put in it. This doesn't really feel too much different than like Irish Spring or your standard bar soap. So that is a no-go. So you know what? I've got a couple of samples here on hand. I've also got some Mitchell's wool fat. I've got some Dr. John's Conquest. Why don't we switch over and do that one? Been meaning to try that again. Tried it one time already. Let's try it again. Yeah, so, I mean, you could, here's the good part about it. I only paid $8 for it. That's still probably a little too much considering the type of lather I've gotten here. I have definitely purchased a Dollar Tree bar of soap that has done just this good, so it is a little bit overpriced. You can see how the lather in here is just drying up and dissipating, and I don't think there's any amount of water or what that is going to fix that. Well, you know, you give people a try. Maybe she just meant for this to just kind of be rubbed on your face or something like that. It's got a decent smell to it. She said the scent was sandalwood and then laurel. Pretty decent. So maybe I will pop it out of the holder here, and it's really pretty slick when you matter of fact, hey, why not try that right quick? I'm just gonna put it between my hands like this and kind of rub, and then see. What if I kind of put that on my face? Maybe this wasn't designed to be integrated with a brush. Sure doesn't look like anything, but it did with my fingers, it did kind of feel pretty slick. Well, it's working. Now, maybe some of you veterans out there may know certain soaps that are kind of like this, that I know there are cream shaves and things that are brushless, you know, and the big box stores like Walmart are full of people, full of Cremo and other and gels and things like that. How about that? And there's definitely some slickness on my face. Now, do I activate that if I add some water to it? Interesting. Let me work the soap on my hands again. I wonder if there's a kind of a genre of soaps that are like this, where you just kind of, they're not meant to be whipped into a foam or a lather. Cross grain again. Imagine you might, pretty good glide here. Imagine you might have to act fast. You may not want to let this stuff, dry on your face. You have to go back and, re-wet it. Pretty good glide. How about that? Well, I'm glad I tried that. So if you didn't want to carry a brush with you in your travels, maybe this is kind of a bar version of a brushless soap. It definitely seems to work, and I've got nice slickness still on my face. So if I want to touch up something, rinse my razor off here, get a little water in my hand, kind of rub my face a little bit, then go back and yeah, so that works. How about that? Well, you learn something new every day. Any of you guys use hard soaps like that are purposely shaving soaps, but you just kind of you don't really generate a foam. You just kind of put this slurry on your face and go at it. Nice residual slickness. Cut looks pretty good. A little trouble spot right there. Looks like it's been taken care of pretty well. Let me do a full rinse and take a look at things. I was looking at the ingredients, and it occurred to me as I was kind of rinsing that maybe this just isn't even a soap. Maybe that's why the lather didn't generate. It's mostly, as we read, oils and creams: castor, coconut, grapeseed, olive, and then goat's milk, buttermilk, cream, water, a little bit of aloe. Now the only thing, then cornstarch, clay, and vanilla bean powder. The only thing in there is NaOH2, sodium, oxygen, and then hydrogen. I can't remember the chemical name for that, but that, I mean, is that the one ingredient that's making it a soap? I mean, maybe this thing is not actually a soap, and so that's why it didn't work into a lather. And so in a sense, this is just milks and oils put together, and so that's why it worked as a bar soap basically, and then just kind of laying a thin film on my face. Face feels reasonably okay. My other normal kind of soaps leave my face feeling a little better. So it's definitely not a different way of approaching something and achieving that goal really well. It's not quite as good at that. Yeah, this lather is just like a bubble bath. It is dying. So obviously this soap was not meant to be lathered. How about that? How about that? Smell is okay. A little bit of some floral notes in there, maybe a little powder, tiny powder note. I don't know that I'm picking up a lot of sandalwood. There's probably a little in there. The Laurel's probably coming into play as well. Not bad. It's kind of a warm, type scent. I think it's pretty reasonably well done. Fairly simple, straightforward type. So, can't really recommend it too much for shaving. It'll get the job done. But a dollar puck of one of the creamier soaps at Dollar Tree is going to treat you better and give you a better lather. Yardley, and also Sugar Soap Works. Those will give you a creamy lather that is really enjoyable to shave with for just $1 for each puck. Pear's Glycerin Soap will also get you a really neat lather. The scent may not be great. The one I tried out was kind of a medicinal scent, but for $1, you know, it's an economical route to go, that's for sure. And the performance, scent wasn't great, but the performance of pears is really slick. It gave me a great shave. How about that? Well, so I've got my my little puck container that I can wash out and save for another soap that needs a container. Another puck. I don't think I'll be keeping this guy around. I might put him in the shower. He might be a good kind of body soap. Oh, especially in the winter with these oils and butters, that might be good to kind of moisturize. That might be a good thing. All right, well, kind of a halfway use of the brush today, but that's the way it is. And let's take a quick look at the results. Nice. Better than yesterday's. Yeah, just a couple of hairs that have a little bit of length on them. That's a lot fewer than yesterday's. That's my trouble spot there. Yep, cheeks feel great. So happy all the way around in terms of the performance and the cut that I got, the close cut. So Pandora's Soap Works. She has an Etsy page, so I guess you could search that and find it if you were interested. You know, it got the job done. Smells okay. We'll leave it at that. And I like the handle, the balance. Yeah, this is kind of a heavy handle, and so the balance point is right there, and that's where I like to hold it. So that's going to be a good handle for this particular head. I like it. And it's got a slightly wider base. So if you are doing this kind of stroke, the pull on the underside of your neck, you've got something nice to hold on to right here. But this knurling is very grippy. So you kind of don't have to worry about losing your grip on this one, even without that bulbous bottom. I got this on sale at italianbarber.com. And I got it for like $5 or $6. I was watching out for clearance and sale prices and things like that, and so I think that's quite a deal. One thing to note about Italian Barber, they've been known to remove negative reviews of their products, so all you're going to see is the positive stuff. I don't think that's very fair, but so don't depend on their reviews as the only information. Look for other sources, and if you want to support that business and buy stuff from them, occasionally they have good clearance deals. Then I would definitely read reviews outside of their website to get a more balanced point of view. All right, there we go. I'm at a loss a little bit. Hey, post-shave, let me see what I have down there. You know what? I've been interested in using my Nivea Original for a while now, and I think they actually changed things and they don't sell this one in the stores. They may just have renamed it. Wow, lots came out. I don't know that I need quite that much. This has a little bit, this is kind of unique, this balm, because it actually has a little bit of alcohol in it. Most balms, to reduce the drying effect and to help condition skin, will not have any alcohol. But this one does, and I like it because I have oily skin, and so I appreciate the check that the alcohol does for my oily skin. They have one called Maximum Hydration. It's possible they just did a rename of the original balm to the Maximum Hydration. I don't know. I guess I could maybe compare the contents one day. Similar size, the exact same size of the Sensitive balm. Lasted me for about 120 uses. So that'll give you an idea if you're interested in knowing how long it might last you. And I try to put on not tons, but enough to do the job, but not much more than that. And it's got just kind of a nice generic spicy kind of man cologne-y smell, and I like it. I thought it might match well with this scent. I think it's kind of overpowering it, but no big deal. All right, well, let me do some cleanup. I do have contact information on the business card she gave me. Pandora's Soap Works, and so I'll email her and see if my technique was correct, if she designed it just to be kind of a hand lather or if she designed it to be a brush lathering soap. I'll ask about that, and I'll try to remember to post the answer in the comments of the video, the description of the video, not the comments, the description. It may not be for a few days, but hopefully it'll be there eventually. And if I contact her and don't get an answer in a reasonable amount of time, I'll try to remember to put a note in the description reflecting that too. So one of the roles I think these little Semogue brushes can play in a shaver's life is to offer inexpensive softness, comfort. They can stir up a lather from pretty much anything. They do bounce back, as you can see. Some people might regard them as a little too floppy, but to me, this guy is not. I think he's just a nice medium backbone, and he's not opening up too much thanks to this O-ring is helping a little bit, and he's quick to work on your face, and the bloom opens up as he keeps breaking in, and I think, do we see some tips that are splitting? Yeah, there's a few. And it feels really good right now. And as you can see, there's not tons of split tips. And so it's going to get more comfortable and soft as that continues to happen. So Semogue they dyed the bristles with this black band. I wouldn't be surprised if the only purpose of doing that is just to tell the brushes apart, because they don't put any kind of model numbers on them. I don't think you couldn't tell this from a 1250, I think, if this was undyed. So maybe that's why they do it. Oh, and the other nice benefit of that kind of brush is that it's really inexpensive. I started this brush-a-thon, this Boar-a-thon, and because just $15 usually for one of these little boars. And they're really comfortable. We'll have to see after 100 uses, 200 uses, do they become too floppy, too weak, or do they kind of hold their backbone? We'll just have to see how all that happens. I mean, come on, at that price point, and I like that. Me personally, I like that a lot better than a synthetic that has a lot of backbone, that kind of shoves your skin around because of that stiffness and springiness to it. They've been able to engineer super soft tips on these synthetic brushes that are out right now, and they are also $15 sometimes. And but that's to me, a Boar like that, I'd take that any day. The natural hair just feels better to me. And the lack of that strong backbone is very appealing to me. Well, it sure was a learning experience. It's kind of new to me. Maybe it was for you also. Maybe in other areas of the world, there are different shaving mediums. You know, we do have brushless creams, and maybe this is the hard soap equivalent of that. Maybe it's common in other areas. Maybe she just put together a moisturizing soap and assumes that it would be good for shaving, and she's never had feedback from anybody. I'm not really sure. I'll give her a little bit, see if that helps. She seemed like a pretty nice lady. But my face I feel a little bit, I don't know, itchy is probably the word. But I'm sure it'll go away after a while. So wouldn't recommend this soap at this point, especially with a lot of other really cheap alternatives out there. But good learning. All right, hey, and the Platinum. This was its 21st shave, the Gillette Platinum, and it did great. Above average for me on my trouble spot. So how about that? You know, pretty good, pretty good. All right, well, I think we're in good shape, and it's time to go and hit the sack. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Thanks so much for watching. Hope there was something here that helped you out. I sure learned something. Take care. Good night.